Okay, let's quickly create VNC connection towards Oracle Cloud Infrastructure compute instance. So first I'm going to create an instance. I'm going to leave these as default. Anyway, I'm going to install it on Oracle Linux. So you should be able to use CentOS, Ubuntu, etc. I'm going to paste my public keys, which I have already copied, and I'm just basically creating my instance. Okay, so while my instance is getting created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a console connection, and I'm going to click on create local connection. So basically we will have to wait until this provisioning get completed. So until that, I'm going to paste the same public key. So it will tell you that you will have to wait until the instance is being created. I'm going to click multiple times. So seems the instance is running. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to this instance via SSH OPC at the IP address. Yes. Now sudo yum group list. So basically this will tell you the list of groups available on your Oracle Linux or CentOS or other operating system. Like this is not going to be viable for Debian releases. So usually I'm going to get the list of groups available. So once it is there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a group called server with GUI. Okay, so this is the first time this YARM system is getting its refreshing its repository, so it is going to take some time. So let's wait until this guy completes its first refresh for the repository synchronization. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install something called server with GUI. Sudo yum group install name. So you will have to copy this, paste. So basically then yum will do the needful on installing all the required packages to configure and install GNOME or the KDE desktop environment. So by default, as you know, the GNOME system will be there. So let's wait until the process get completes. So those are being downloaded right now. So I am letting this video to be on full length so that, you know, people who are not familiar with the process should be able to know about, you know, the time and etc. which is taken to install all these things. Okay, so as you can see, there are around, you know, 781 packages to be installed in order to get this GUI running. So I have seen on many forums, like people are trying to install Tiger VNC, Tight VNC, and etc. Usually, you don't want to install such tool within Oracle Cloud infrastructure, because Oracle is anyway providing VNC kind of environment free of charge, pre-configured for all of these uh, instances running on Oracle Cloud. And it is not going to be limited for the Linux one. It is available for the Windows instances as well. Okay, let's wait. So in case you are using Windows, what you can do is you should be able to install something called a Linux subsystem for Windows. You should be able to install Oracle Linux or Ubuntu within your Windows, or just install git bash. So should be able to have Linux kind of console. So then after, once it has been installed, so what you can do is you can right click on your desktop and click on open git bash. Then you have to run something called ssh keygen command. So once it is being executed, you should be able to create key pairs. So then the key I took from my ssh idrsa.pub file. So this path is common for Windows based git bash and etc. In case you don't have a Mac or Linux environment like me, you should be able to do the same using Windows as well. So I don't recommend go with the putty and p-link and etc. if you don't have much experience with putty and all. So let's not make it complex for the first time. Okay, still installing. So the yum group install server with GUI will basically install all the browsers and all the tools and calculators and everything you see within GUI. So that's why it is taking long time to get it installed. Okay, less than 100 packages remaining. Again, recap, like go to the console connection. You have to click on create local connection first. So basically, then we should be able to create the tunnel connection for the VNC, and you will have to download something called VNC viewer to be able to connect to the desktop environment. Okay, so wait, let's see how it goes. I believe like it is almost done. Okay, while waiting, let me open new tab and SS into OPC at okay. So in case you want to log in as root on this GUI, what you have to do is sudo do a sudo su and be root and set a password. So it should be one complex password. Okay. So in case you want only your OPC user or some other user to be able to use this GUI, so what you have to do is you have to set a password. So as you know, these cloud servers doesn't come with a password. It is comes with some empty password like the disabled passwords. So to be able to log in on GUI, you should be able to create one password for your required account. This guy is still installing some stuff. So while waiting, I'm going to my other command window. I'm trying to exit from this instance. Go into this console connection and copy VNC connection for Linux Mac. So if whenever you are using a Git bash also, you will have to copy the VNC connection for Linux Mac. I'm just pasting that one, the command. First time it will ask for your verification. Okay. Now you should be able to access your VNC using localhost 5900. So what this command does is it is creating a secure tunnel in between Oracle Cloud infrastructure and in between your local machine. So it doesn't matter whether you have a private instance or public instance. It will basically do the needful to create kind of secure connection. So this is your console connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in with root with my newly provided password. I am in. Okay. Now let's see, the installation is being completed. Now what I have to do is I have to type start X, then GUI should come magically. So with this approach, you don't have to install any additional softwares within your server and compromise it. So usually you should be able to use this Oracle provided feature to access your server using GUI. So as you can see, you should be able to access everything on the GUI. So in case you are installing like GUI based software and etc., you should be able to use this. So always remember to log out from the console whenever you are done, and make sure to exit from this console connection as well. And then you can safely close this VNC connectivity. Okay, so that is about it. Hope you have learned something new, and have a good day then.